students, in this video what I am going to tell you, how can you solve numerical problems of triangular loading if you are having beam and if you are having beam and it is having a triangular loading over there. So what you have to do, how can you find out the support reactions, how can you convert a varying distributed load into the point load, and how can you find out the shear force and bending moment values to draw the or construct the shear force or bending moment diagram. I have already told you how can you construct the shear force and bending moment diagram if you are having beam which is having which is having uniformly distributed load and point load. So how can you solve it out? So let's have a start. I have a numerical problem over here and it is the very easy numerical on which you have to draw, or you can say construct shear force and bending moment diagram having of a beam having varying distributed load VDL, or you can say triangular loading. So the question is, I have made numerical for you guys. This is a beam which is having supports over here and it's a main support and it is a roller, and this is 1. This is 6 meter. So what we have to do, these are this. Now what we have to do, this is 25 kilonewton per meter. So what we have to do over here, and how can you resolve force support reactions, find out the support reactions for this type of beam which is having triangular load. Right now it's a very initial numerical on which I just want to elaborate how can you find out the shear force and bending moment diagram for the triangular loading, and then we will move towards the beams which is having uniformly distributed load and the triangular loading is over there and the point load as well. So how can you solve it out, that you will get the beams which are having the combination of different types of loadings. So you have to apply all the types of loading and you have to find out the support reactions, and then you have to move on for the construction of shear force and bending moment diagram. So this is the numerical, and how can we resolve this numerical, solve it out. So let's have a start with the solution. So if you are having this numerical, so one thing I want to clear over here is that you have to find out these support reactions, and this is AY. My marker is not working over here, so let me take another marker, and this is AX, and this one is what? This is BY. So what we have to do, how can we resolve these issues? So let me start with, first of all, what you have to do, we have to convert this triangular loading into the point load. And how can we do in the case of the triangle? So let's have a start. So look here, for example, I am moving towards the solution, and you know very well the area of a triangle should be 1/2 BH. What does it mean by that? BH, it is base into height. So in this case, what I am going to take, this area is equals to 1/2. The base of the triangle is what? The base of the triangle is 6 meter, and we are assuming that the height of this triangle is 25 kilonewton per meter. We are assuming it. So what we have to do, I will put it down 6 meter and this will be 25 kilonewton per meter. So in this case, what I have to do, look here, when I will cut down this meter to meter, then what will be the answer? So let's see. So let me do that. Area is equals to 2 into 3, 6, 3 5s are 15, 3 2s are 6, and it will come out 75 kilonewton. And you tell me one thing here, if you are looking at this unit, so this unit is of area? No, it's not the unit of area. So what it will be here, this will be your P, this is your point load. So you are successfully converted, you have been successfully converted your point load, your triangular loading into the point load. So this is you have done. And what next you have to do? So you have to find out these support reactions. And let me clear one thing over here, is that this is your point load you have converted. So this is P. Let me write it down. This one is P, and this is coming out to be 75 kilonewton. So if it is done, so one more thing I want to make it clear over here. For the triangle, you have to take what? This distance of the shorter side should be 2/3 into 6. 6 is what? This one. If I will take this is L, so this should be L. And what I have assumed over there, that I have assumed that this is B, so I can write it down B. It's up to you, whatever the variable you want to suppose it. And this is the longer side of the triangle, this is the longer side of the triangle, this is the shorter side of the triangle. So what you have to do, you have to put 1/3 into 6. So this is the way to distribute the distances from the support to the point load, which you have converted from the triangular. And you can say you have transformed triangular loading into the point load. And now what we have to do, we have to sum up the moment. We have to apply the law of moment, or you can say principle of the moment, and the summation of the moment of the clockwise. So clockwise moment is equals to anti-clockwise moment. So what we have to do here is, let me tell you, we are going to find out the support reaction. And how can we find out the support reaction? So let's have a start. Support reactions. So what are the support reactions over here? AX, BY, AY. And first of all, I am going to sum up moment at point A, and I have supposed this direction is positive. It's up to you. I have already explained you in my previous semester how can you sum up the moment. Okay, and what direction you want to take positive. If you want to take anti-clockwise direction, should be positive, so you can take it. If you want to take positive clockwise direction, so you can take it. It's totally up to you, whatever you want to do, but make it one thing clear: how can you convert triangular loading into the point load, and how can you distribute the distances of that point load. So keep it in mind that in the triangular loading, what you have to do, the shorter side should be 2/3 into L, and the longer side should be 1/3 into L. So let's have a start. We are going to sum up the moment, and when I rotate this source, this is P, so I will rotate it here. So what does it mean by that? It is negative because I have supposed this one is positive. And when I am going to rotate this BY, so it will be positive because it is in the same direction what I have supposed. So let's have a look, and you can see P multiply by, I have to multiply P with 2/3 into X. So it should be minus 75 into 2/3 into 6. And when I rotate this force towards there, so I have to multiply with the whole base of the triangle, that is 6 meter, or you can say of the B. So it should be B6BY. It's done. Now what you have to do, you have to simplify it. So what it will become? It will become like it is 300 minus 300 plus 6BY. So the answer will be therefore BY comes out to be 50 kilonewton. This is all done, and we have successfully calculated the value of BY, or support reaction of BY. Now what we are going to do, obviously we are moving towards the summation of vertical forces. So when I am moving towards the summation of vertical forces, so what you have to do, AY plus BY minus 75. Why is it so? So let me explain to you again that the AY is upward, BY is upward, both are positive, and P is downward, so it should be negative. So the value of BY, we got it, what? 50. So it is 50 minus 75 equals to 0. So therefore AY comes out to be 25 kilonewton. It's done. This is the way to find out the support reactions. when you have calculated the support reaction, but one thing is left because we were having hinge support, so there will be the horizontal support is also there. So what we have to do, we have to just write it down because we are only having one horizontal force. So what we have to do, Ax is equals to 0. So what we are going to do is that we have to we have calculated, or we have found out the value of by, ay and ax. Now we are moving towards the cutting of section regions. And how can we do that? We are having only one load on, that is varying distributed load, or you can say triangular distributed load. So there will be only one section cut. So let's have a start. Let's move on, and let me draw the diagram over here. Again, I am going to draw free body diagram. So I am putting down the heading of shear force and bending moment calculations. Bending moment calculations. Bending moment calculations. So now what we have to do, we have to draw the free body diagram of this beam, and this will be like this, and this will be ay, and I got ay. The value of ay is what? Is the value of ay is 25 kilonewton, and the value of by, I got it 50 kilonewton, and you know very well it is 6 meter. And this is our condition, and I should write it down there that P is 75 kilonewton. We have calculated. So now what we have to do, and here you can take it 25 kilonewton per meter, it was given. And what we have to do, we are going to move on. What thing? We are moving towards the cutting of section. This is A and B, and we cut the section here. This is A. So only there is only one type of loading over here on this beam. So what we have to do, we have to cut only one section over here. So let's go on with region. So I am moving towards the region AB, and its limit should be, as we do in the shear force and bending moment diagram of uniformly distributed load and point load. So the limit will be 0 to 6 meter, because the length of the beam is 6 meter total. Now when I cut the section, so what I have to do, when I cut the section, so I am taking this piece. So I'm taking this triangle, and obviously this point load will be not lying over here, because I'm taking it on the x distance, not on the 6 meter. So what I have to do here, let me show you here. For example, I have cut the section, and this is the case, and where I have to sum up the moment or shear force, and this is ay. So when it is ay equals to 25 kilonewton, so what we have to do, it is x. Keep it in mind, this one is x, this is the y, and you know very well this is 25 kilonewton per meter, because every per meter it was 25 kilonewton, but I don't know the value of x. So right now for the x, obviously it will be y, we will take it y as. Now I have to take two triangles over here, because I have to find out the shear force bending moment equation. But keep it in mind, if you are having this x, so the p should be in terms of x. So the distance of this triangle base is x, and this one is y, kilonewton per meter, and you will take it the bigger triangle which is given in the question, it is 6, and this one is 25 kilonewton per meter. So I am going to find out the area of a triangle, of this triangle. So it is equals to half of xy. Is that okay? And here what you are going to do by similar triangles. So because I want this half xy in terms of a single variable. either in x or either in y. But obviously we will not go with the y, so I want to get value of y from here and put it here, and then I will get the value of x in or we can find out the point load in terms of x. So these are the two triangles, both are the similar. We are assuming that, so we are taking it y upon x and 25 over 6. So this is the way. What you have to do, the y comes out to be how much? Let me calculate this. The value is coming out to be what? Is value is in points. Yes, it is coming in points. That is 4.167x. Now I will put this value of y here, and obviously this will not be the area of a triangle because I have x in meter and y is in kilonewton per meter, so it will be in kilonewton. So I am taking it as p dash half of x into 4.167x. So it will be how much? It will be 2.0835 x square. So this will be p dash. This is the way to calculate. Now what I am going to do, let's have a look. So I have to draw the shear force bending moment diagram. For this purpose, what I have to do, I got this p dash. So what does it mean by this p dash? This is the p dash. This is the point load in terms of x, 2.0835 x square. Now I am going to sum up the moment at point A for finding out the equation of shear force and bending moment. Let's take this triangle, section cut before value, and shear force value is 25. This is upward force, so it should be positive. This is downward, so 2.0835 x square. So this will be our shear force equation. This is our shear force equation. And we are moving towards the bending moment equation. So it will be 25 into x. So moment arm is x because we are summing up a moment over here. So 25 multiplied by x, and we are going to multiply this. So obviously this force will be rotate towards here. So this is upward positive and downward negative. So it will be negative, and I can write it down. This is the load 2.0835 x square, but I need moment arm as well. For this purpose, what I am going to tell you here is that it is also again shorter size 2 by 3x, and the longer side should be 1 by 3x in terms of x. So if this 3 is not clear to you, so it will be clear to all of you. Now when I rotate this force towards here, so moment arm will be 1 upon 3x. So I can put it here. So now I will be able to find out the equation of bending moment in the region of AB. 25x minus 0.6945 x cube. So this is shear force equation, and this one is the bending moment equation. So now what we are going to do, we are going to find out the value of shear force and bending moment at x equals to 0 and x equals to 6. So how can we find it out? So let me write it down. X equals to 0, x equals to 6. This will be shear force and bending moment. When I put x equals to 0 in this equation, so this will become 0, and I will get the value of this. Shear force will be 25. When I put 6 over here, so 25 minus 2.0835, 6 square multiplied by 6 square. So it will be the value of coming out to be what? Minus 50.006. Okay. If I will put 0 here in the x for the bending moment, so what it will happen, 25 into 0 minus 0.6945 into 0, it will become 0 throughout. And when I will put 6 here, 25 into 6, 0.6945 into 6 cube, so the answer will again to be nearest to 0, 0.0012. So one thing let me make you clear to all of you, if you are having the shear force value and if if the load is applied on the beam, so obviously there must be some bending. It never happens that if you are having shear force and you are having the load on the beam, but the bending moment is coming out to be zero throughout zero. So it never be possible. So what you have to do, actually we are taking values or finding out the values on the boundaries, means we are taking initial value and the final value. We are not checking between the 1 2 3 4 5, because the length of the beam is 0 to 6. So obviously there are numbers between them, means the beam is having 1 meter, also 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, and it goes up to 6 meter. If you want to take 1.5 to 2.5, so you obviously the beam is having that length also. So what we have to do for this purpose, keep it in mind, already I have told you in the last semester that what you have to do, bending moment is maximum whenever it is maximum, wherever it is maximum, when you are having shear force equals to 0. If you are having shear force 0, so what will be happen, your bending moment should be maximum. So what we have to do for this, obviously we are having only one region, so we are having one equation of shear force and we are having one equation of bending moment. So we will equate the shear force equation equal to 0. So equate shear force equation equals to 0. So we are having this shear force equation, and this shear force equation is equals to 25 minus 2.0835 x square is equals to 0. So when we will do it like this, so it will become 25 minus 2.0835 x square equals to 0. So what we have to do now, 25 is equals to 2.0835 x square. So it will happen what? X square is equals to 25 divided by 2.0835. So therefore the value of x comes out to be what? 3.4639, 3.4639, and it should be in meter. So obviously what you have to do, you have to take a square root of it, so you will get the value. So when you will get the value of x, so this value of x you have to put in the bending moment equation. This is the bending moment equation, and you have to put the value of x over here. So for finding out bending moment maximum, so let me write it down. For bending moment maximum, what we have to do, bending moment maximum is equals to 25. You have to write down, you can write down, put x is equals to 3.4639 here. So 25 into 3.4639 minus 0.6945, and there will be 3.4639 whole cube. It's cube. So this is the equation. I have only put the value of x in this equation. This is the equation of bending moment, and now I have to solve it out and I have to find out its value. So on this point, on this value of x, I will get the value of bending moment, that is maximum. So bending moment maximum, so I have to calculate it, and it is coming out to be what? 86.5975 minus 28.864. So therefore bending moment maximum is equals to what? 57.7335 kilonewton into meter. So you will get the value of bending moment maximum. If you are having zero line for the bending moment, so how this bending moment maximum is coming out over there? So it is, keep it in your mind, must remember this, that if you are having shear force 0, so you will get your bending moment maximum, and keep it in your mind, if you are having load on the beam, so it is never possible that there is no bending moment over there. So what we have to do, let's draw shear force and bending moment diagram. Now what we have to do, let me tell you, is that what will be the table of it. So obviously there are only two values, so there is not the major issue. So it is A and B, this, and there will be the shear force and bending moment equation. So when you are having this, so the value of shear force is here is 25, and this will be minus 50.006, and there is 0 and 0. So this is this one. So what we are going to do here, so let's see, we have to draw the shear force and bending moment. Now students, we got the values and we have calculated bending maximum bending moment also. So now we are able to construct the shear force or bending moment diagram of this numerical. So how can we draw that? So let me tell you, first we have to draw the diagram which was given in the question. So this one, the beam which is having triangular loading over it. So this is 25 kilonewton per meter, and this one is AY. It was coming out to be 25 kilonewton, and this one should be BY, and it is 50 kilonewton per meter. So its distance is 6 meter, its length, and this is A, and this one is B. So what we are trying to do, we are going to construct shear force and bending moment diagram of this beam after getting the values. So this line is for the shear force, and this line is showing you this is the bending moment. So what we have to do, we got the values and we got the initial shear force value is 25, then minus 50.006, and but we are getting bending moment 0 and 0. So first of all, it is 25 kilonewton. So it starts from 0 obviously. So we will move upward because the value is positive and this side is positive. This side should be negative for the shear force. So this is 25 kilonewton we have taken, and the other value is that this is minus 50.006 kilonewton is coming out. This is the initial value of the shear force and this one is the final value, and what we have to do, we will move towards here, and it is up. When we will move upward, so it is positive and this one is negative. So what will happen, minus 50.006 plus 50 is equals to 0, so it becomes 0. So what we have to do for the shear force diagram in the triangular loading, when we are having beam which is having a varying distributed load, or you can say the triangular loading, so what we have to do, we have to move upward like this, as we do in the, if the beam is having point load, and the you can say if it is having uniformly distributed load, or you can say UDL. So we have to move straight up, but the thing is changed over here. Why is it so? Because we are having shear force equation here, and let me tell you what is the shear force equation over here. Actually I have done numbering over here, so it makes more clear to all of you. Look here, this is the shear force equation, this one is the bending moment equation. It is having x raised to the power 2 and it is having x raised to the power 3. So whatever the diagram I will make over here, so bending moment or shear force diagram should be the curve, but this curve should be the second degree curve, and this curve should be the third degree curve. So what we do have to do over here, we will make curve over here, and I already told you in the UDL, when you are drawing curve on the positive side, so it will be outward, and when you are moving to the negative side, so it will become inner side. So what you have to do, I will do this like this, and this one is, you can see this is the shear force diagram of the beam which is having triangular loading. So let me shade the pattern. Okay, let me do the pattern over here. So this is the way to make shear force diagram for the triangular loading beam, triangularly loaded beam. Here one thing you can say, there is the shear force is 0, and wherever the shear force is 0, so the maximum bending moment you will get it on here. So let me draw the line over here. Obviously, I will get the maximum bending moment over here. So what I have to do, you have already seen that the initial or final points are coming 0 for the bending moment. So let me draw how can I draw the shear bending moment diagram. So let me circle this and this. So it starts from 0 and ends on 0. But what we have done, we have calculated maximum bending moment over here, and that is 57.7335 kilonewton into meter. So what we have to do, I have to mark here, it is the maximum value, that is bending moment maximum, it is equals to 57.7335 kilonewton into meter. It's done. So what does it mean by that? I have to make curve over here and for the bending moment diagram, and this curve will be like this. So I have to make pattern in over here. You can see you have to make free body curve and write it down here. There is no need to check or calculate the curve, you just write it down. This is second degree curve. So let me make clear to your teacher that you have drawn curve over here and this is third degree curve, and the reason behind that, I have told you that the equation of the shear force is having quadratic equation, that is x raised to the power 2, and for the bending moment the equation is what, x raised to the power 3, so it is third degree curve. So now we have to sum up. To be concluded, that is that if you are having beam and which is having the point load, so what does it mean by that? Your shear force line should be the straight line and the bending moment graph should be the inclined line. And if you are going to draw shear force and bending moment diagram for the beam which is having uniformly distributed load UDL, so the shear force diagram should be the inclined line and the bending moment should be the parabolic curve. And when it comes to the beam which is having triangular loading, so the shear force diagram should be second degree curve. And if you are having bending moment diagram for the beam which is having VDL or triangular loading, so the diagram should be third degree curve. So this is the way to sum up and keep remember this whenever you are doing shear force bending moment diagrams or making shear or constructing shear force bending moment diagram for the beam which is having varied load, means different loading conditions. For example, it is having point load, whether it is having uniformly distributed load, so and you are having triangular loading. So what you have to do, you have to keep remember these points. These are the 3 points you must have to remember this. When you just recall it whenever you are in the exams, whenever you are doing your assignments, whenever you are doing your quizzes. So what you have to do, you have to keep in your mind and just recall it, what are the principles of drawing shear force and bending moment diagrams for the different loading types on the beam. Means point load, uniformly distributed load, and varying distributed load, that is also known as triangular loading. And after doing this practice, it will be clear to all of you how can you draw or you can calculate the support reaction, how can you draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams for the beam which is having triangular loading. And keep this in mind, if you are having triangular loading starting, or you can say the shorter side of the triangle on your left hand side, and the bigger one portion of the triangle should be on your right hand side. But if it comes opposite. So what does it mean by that? You have to change your calculations, but I am not going through with it right now because it will make you confused. But keep it in mind and remember this thing. You must make it sure that your triangular loading is starting from the shorter side, from your left hand side, and your bigger side of the triangle should be at your right hand side, wherever it starts. Okay, now if you will find this video helpful for you guys, and you will find it so productive, and you will learn something good from this video, and each and everything will be clear to all of you. So what you have to do, you don't forget to click on the subscribe tab. You have to subscribe my channel, and you must have to share, like my videos, and comment in the comment box of my YouTube videos. So it will be a kind of help for me, that it will be the feedback from your side that whether my videos are helping for you, and if I have done any kind of mistake, and if my videos are having any sort of error. So I'm also in the learning process, and I'm trying my level best to give you the best learning methodologies, and I am trying to provide you the easiest solution for the numericals of strength of material and the numerical problems of engineering mechanics. So if you will find all these things are helpful, and if you're not so just write it down, whatever you think about my videos, in the comment sections of my YouTube videos. So it will be a kind of help for me, and it will be helpful for me to improve my videos, and I will provide you more productive and different learning methodologies in my videos, in my upcoming videos. So it will be very good, and it's a kind of correspondence. It's all depends upon my whatever the strength of my channel is, completely based upon your feedbacks and your responses. And second thing is what I am going to tell you is that I have started my blog as well, where you will get all my YouTube videos in a single blog. So don't forget to follow me on www.nahishazad.blogspot.com. So if you like this video, so before ending this video, must subscribe it, share with your friends and family, and like the video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.